2,112 metres away from where Mark Hunter and I sit at the finish line.
Look at that view straight down the course. Perfect day for racing. No wind, nice and calm.
Yeah, we're here because this is the straightest stretch of the Thames, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's why it takes place here at Henley Royal Regatta.
Yeah, Thames.
Travels from all around the world to be here. Mercantile from Australia.
Straight and ready, I will start you like this.
Trip pay.
Everybody wants that red box, that nice gold medalling come Sunday.
Get ready, please.
Delay in the Thames boat. Stroke there, Matt Cummings. You see his left arm extended. Until it starts that he's not quite ready. He is now.
Attention! Go!
Off they go. Look at Thames's start on the right after that fairly lengthy delay, and they've got out pretty well. Just a couple of little steering hitches early, but they have got fast out there.
Yeah,
Thames.
they leapt out the blocks there. They really want to get in this race quick and try and actually put the Mercantile crew under pressure.
And Matt Cummings certainly setting the pace to do exactly that.
But because Henley's such a long course, you know, as you mentioned, race over 12,112 metres, it's really important to get that strong rhythm, that bass rhythm that's going to take you over the majority of the course.
So they'll be settling down now, trying to find that rhythm that Mark talks about. And despite a feisty start, Thames Rowing Club find themselves level and even just slipping slightly down on Mercantile at the top of your picture. Where's your money here, Mark?
You can see the class of the Mercantile crew on the far side. They just look more rhythmical and they're really holding on to their puddles. It just looks a bit washy, if I can say that word, the kind of Thames crew. They just need to really press it out. It just looks a bit chasey.
Mercantile looking smooth and long at the moment, and you would think that they'll be able to sustain that. Very experienced crew. The club established back in 1880, based in Melbourne on the Yarra River.
And you can just see the Thames crew just moving across a little bit. Just got to come back this way. I'm sure the umpire would have warned them. And that's the last thing you want, because that puts the rudder on, which virtually works as a small handbrake and slows the boat speed down.
If you know your Melbourne geography, we see Upper Yarra off the Buck Station a bit later on in the Wyfold, and Upper Yarra and Mercantile are 3 boathouses away. They're all in a row.
And you can see both crews, Mercantile have moved into the middle.
Yeah. Mercantile need to get back onto their side of the water because they've come all the way across and leaving dirty water.
And that'll make it, especially when you're behind
the Thames, yeah.
That is really challenging, especially when you feel you're under pressure. You need to have an impact on the race at something like now to stay in contention.
Well, the umpire's going to have to get involved again, isn't he? Because
they are way over.
Well, and going further. Well, Mercantile are all over the place in terms of their steering, and the umpire again indicates to the Australians that they've got to get back onto their side of the water, the Berkshire station, and they're trying to correct now.
So this is when Thames really needs to be right behind them, because then that would have given them a chance to actually appeal that what just happened there. But there's such a gap between them. I don't know whether when they cross the line, if they don't get back on terms, will they'll put their hand up and challenge the kind of decision. But the Mercantile crew back on their station now, back in their rhythm, looking strong.
It's a strange mid-race wobble, isn't it, in their steering and their concentration there.
Well, that's the thing. If you're in front, sometimes athletes sometimes switch off, and if say it is a steers person and they're looking at the other crew, you kind of get drawn towards them.
And they certainly did on that occasion. They're going again, aren't they?
Yeah, they're moving back into the middle.
But the problem you have if you're in the Thames boat is you just can't capitalise on that. It's just going to be a problem in terms of the puddles and a bit of wash, and they're not in contact, anywhere near contact, are they?
You're too far behind to really make an impact, because you're not really going to get back on terms.
So Mercantile perhaps feel they've got a free run, but
I'm sure it's something that the umpire will probably speak to them after the race. Come on, guys, make sure it's a fair race out there.
I'm presuming they win this. and go through tomorrow. It's something they're going to need to work on, isn't it? They haven't got any time to physically work on it, but they need to think about it and get this right, because in a tighter race tomorrow, this could cost them dear.
Yeah, and also you don't want that added pressure of stuff that you think you might not be so good at. You want to be just focusing on your rowing, moving in harmony with the rest of your crew, and laying down the work. You don't want to be thinking about, oh, am I good enough to steer this course? Because it adds more tension to the person that actually has the rudder.
Well, the umpire quite content with life at the moment. So will Mercantile B.
And you can see where the umpire's launch there from that shot. The umpire's launch will sit bang in the middle. That's meant to separate the two crews. So people watching, that's just to give you an idea. You can see if the crew's moved over too far.
Benjamin Canham in the bow seat for Mercantile. Jack Kelly, Mitchell Hooper and Angus Maloney. Fractionally heavier boat. And now they've got their steering sorted out and they're putting together a pretty good race, aren't they?
Yeah, they're kind of just chain along now. Looking very well drilled there technically as a unit. It's impressive again the number of boats that Thames have got through today to semi-finals in different events. You know, the core group of athletes they have down there that's been coached by Ben Lewis is really impressive.
Yeah, this is Thames's second-ranked crew who finished 4th in the Championship Coxos Fours at Marlow Regatta, but ahead of the other Wyfold competition. So that was a pretty good form guide going into this regatta. And Mercantile will be taking the spoils here. They're destined for a final tomorrow.
And I said it at the start that on paper they do look like the top crew of the event, and they've proven that today. Semi-final day, you want to put a marker down, stamp your authority in the event.
I'll ask you where your money was.
Yeah.
Is that you all right?
Yeah, and once again it comes down to, you know, you've raced over Wednesday, Thursday, Friday and today, and you have a gut buster. And I mean a gut buster is the racer line that Thames had yesterday. With this heat, it just saps the energy out of your legs and body.
So Canham, Kelly, Hooper and Maloney in the Mercantile boat past stewards and to the finish line. Almost the entirety of the race. And they'll be back tomorrow. Big test coming up for them. Beating Thames Rowing Club. And just weren't able to capitalise. They did have that mid-race wobble, Mercantile. We thought with their steering, with a lack of concentration mid-race, but they got that sorted out. And I don't think the umpire will be too fazed by any of that.
You just saw the umpire raise the white flag, so he's happy with the result. There was enough distance between the two crews, so there won't be any appeal.
He did raise the white flag, honest.
Yep.
He's just fondly brandishing his red flag.
Yeah.
Just to keep everyone on their toes, but it was the white flag that counted. So have a look at the start from Thames. That was the best part of their race.
Yeah, they went out aggressively. They tried to get into the race knowing that the Mercantile crew was strong.
This was the mid-race when Mercantile slid over to the buck station.